Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth day of Starlight. We're doing a little something special today. Today's Starlight shout-out is none other than Seiken Arts, who I'm going to have a little sort of impromptu interview with over Zoom. Um, so, Kaylee, how you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Good. Can't really complain.
We got snow coming over here, big old 8 to 12 inches of snow expected, so it's gonna be fun for us.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm British, so we've got rain and grey. Snow hits normally, if we're lucky, February, March kind of time. So yeah.
Ah. Well, here's hoping that you do end up getting a little bit of the white stuff down the road. I know I'm not looking forward to driving over that mountain I go to every work today and snow tomorrow, but that's for another time. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So first off, for those who don't know you, just tell me a bit about Seiken Arts and kind of what you do.
Okay, so Seiken Arts started out as Seiken Cosplay, and I named the page after my first cosplay, which was Beatrix from Final Fantasy IX. And then I went on to, I've got a background in art, and I'm actually a tattoo artist. But I wanted to do more kind of commission work and then start doing merch. So Seiken Arts is more about that. So dog portraits, character portraits, and pin badges and jewellery, mainly, is what I'm working on. We're still pretty early days at the minute, but we've got some really fun stuff coming up, and it's going good. So, yeah.
Nice. I've got a couple of those enamel pins on the way myself, actually.
You do?
I eventually want to get like the whole trio, but I had to do them in bits because, holidays are tight.
Yeah.
So, you've obviously done art for a number of community projects. Obviously, my own Seed the Beginning, you were instrumental in making that happen. Also recently done the work for Norse myths that inspired Final Fantasy VII. What's it like doing art specifically for like a book like that?
It's really fun. I like collaboration, and I like to work with other people's ideas. I'm not great at working autonomously. I need like that input from somebody else to drive us. I like to kind of work with somebody else's ideas and then realize it. So it lends itself well, I think, to my strengths. Yeah, and it's just fun. And it's obviously like the projects I've worked on have been very varied, which is nice as well. So it's like pushing my comfort zone all the time and challenging us.
Yeah, I can tell, like, if anybody who looks at like Norse myths versus Seed, like the art style is almost completely different.
Yeah,
between those two books.
it's
so
very different.
Because you got like the very like graphic novel-y kind of art that you've got for Seed the Beginning. My favorite's still the one of the Dole Plaza there. But then you go over to Norse myths, and you've got these just majestic tableau-looking pieces of like ancient Norse mythology. Your Odin picture is the one that's always used on the adverts for it. Just fantastic work all around. Is there a particular? This is kind of off the standard questions. In each of those books, is there a particular favorite piece of art you've done?
Oh, I would say for Seed, my favourite is probably the one of Quistis berating Squall, because it's like, if you remember the very first sketch that we did, he was like a full-on like moody teenager, and we kind of changed it up so he's a little bit more indifferent to it, which I think works really well for their relationship. But yeah, Quistis giving Squall a good wacky finger is it just makes us smile. And then for the Norse one, probably Jormungand, the serpent. Just like with all the water textures and things like that, it was really fun to put together, and I think it's got like a nice shape on the page. So completely different reason for us to like it, but yeah, that's where I would go.
I like I say, I definitely I can understand that, and Again, all the work is fantastic. I've absolutely loved it. I'll give a little background here. We were working on Sita. Me and Mo were in panic mode. We were editing this book, and we had like a couple of months left until Pomex. And she was like, "Okay, so here are your ideas." And then, like later that day, you already had sketches for us. So
I work fast.
you do work lightning like. Okay, so changing gears here. Are there any artists who inspire you in or outside the community?
Well, I mean, I'll go with Yoshitaka Romano, who obviously does the cover art of Final Fantasy. I think it's that thing like nowadays where art is so accessible, and that there's so many amazing artists that we're kind of almost overwhelmed by it. Yeah, so it's like I follow so many that it would be really hard to kind of pin down exactly like a handful who have inspired us. You know?
No, I completely get that. My nerd wall is covered in like the works of like 7 different artists, who I'm friends with on Facebook, much less the wider community. I completely get that. Let me ask you, like, your husband is also a tattoo artist. Do you kind of play off each other, or?
Yeah, we've got we work very differently. And that works really well, I think, because our styles are completely different. So there's no kind of competition. But a lot of the time, like if one of us stuck on something, then the other person can kind of pick up what's wrong and what needs to change. Because we've got such different mindsets. So Gary's he's a very technical artist, whereas my work's a lot more flowing. Like line work and stuff, you can kind of see it in where it's like more organic. Did I answer the question? I think I did.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. That's awesome. I like hearing the kind of like the shop talk. I admire that, because I know
you can literally hear the cogs going in my brain, can't you?
Again, but I find that fascinating because it really is kind of cool when you sit down and have to analyze your own work. It's like, where do I begin with this and make it accessible? Do pass on my thanks again to Gary for the lovely Cecil print. I have it right here in front of me.
It's not a print.
He did that by hand. Like, that's the original?
Yeah.
Even better. Oh my God. Yeah. And to be fair,
it took so long to send.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure you did tell me that, but I have been up all night for reasons I won't get into on this interview. So,
oh, bless you.
My brain's a bit fried. Okay. Kind of bringing it down here. I already went and said, like, as far as the books, what your favorite piece of artwork is. In your entire collection, is there any one or any couple of pieces of artwork in which you are particularly proud?
So we'll go tattoo art product. Tattoo wise, I'm working on, again, because this is obviously all very Final Fantasy centric, a Final Fantasy VII leg sleeve, which has been so much fun to work on. The client is amazing, sits so well, is really happy for us just to do my own thing with it. It's so far that's probably been one of my absolute favorite collections of tattoos on one person. Artwork wise, you know what? I really loved the Steiner artwork that I did for the Tripom card. The original one, which I don't think is being shared anywhere, and I don't know whether I'm allowed to share it, but I actually did it with a background and everything, and it's Steiner with his sword, and it's got the bomb in the background. And it was all out of focus, and I was really proud of it. And then I sent it to Alex, and obviously he was like, "Yeah, but it's really good, but there's no background. We can't use the bomb." I was like, "Yeah, okay." So, yeah, I'm really happy. I am really happy with that one, just as a piece of character art as well. He's got this really great weird look on his face, where he's just Steiner, with these crazy eyes and grimace.
He's just Steinering.
And product wise, probably my earrings, the earrings that I've just had, that I've just came, and I'm so happy with them. Which I like the Save the Queen sword. They're probably my favourites as well. It's been a while. That was my first ones that I've worked directly with a factory where I haven't had any middleman. So I had to do everything myself, including going back and relearning how to use Illustrator and stuff. So yeah, that was a really fun one as well.
Awesome. And the Save the Queen earrings look fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. I'm excited to do more of that kind of stuff.
I wish I had more like people like who live where I live that were like into Final Fantasy as much. It's me and my friend Jacob, and that's kind of it as far as local friends.
Yeah.
Because I would shower them in stuff like that. Okay, so we're gonna sort of bring things down to a close here with a not at all controversial question. What is your favorite Final Fantasy?
I hate this question. Honestly, because immediately I want to say 7, but I know how, like, I don't know whether I'm just saying that as like the default answer because that was the one of my childhood. Because I've obviously also got a massive soft spot for 8 and 9 and 10. And then at the minute, like, I am crazy obsessed with 14.
Yes.
And like, Jesus, like Shadowbringers, man.
Right.
It's blown my mind. Like, actually blown my mind. I'd never imagined that an MMO could have a story as in-depth and gripping as that. So I can't give a definitive answer on which one is my favourite because I kind of love them all, and I know that's a total cop-out, but it's the only honest answer I can give.
But again, that's just a testament to the nature of Final Fantasy, because I can't give a top answer either. I have a personal favorite on principle, which is 8, but like my S tier consists of 4 different games, so like okay, well, this has been a wonderful chat. I'm not trying to eat up too much of your day. Last thing we do is just, since I had my Starlight shout out, which is obviously you for today, any people, friends, any other folks who you want to shout out right now, feel free to go ahead and take some time.
Okay. I am going to give a huge shout out to MJ Gallagher, who is the artist of the Final Fantasy VII novelization and of Norse myths that inspired Final Fantasy, which I did the artwork for. I would also like to give a shout out to Ryuza, who does amazing Final Fantasy XIV artwork, especially. So if you're a fan of 14, definitely check her out. And, personal shout outs to my lovely husband, Gary, and my lovely wife, Shannon, and my lovely friend, Perry, and the DDP girls, who are hilarious. Yeah, there we go. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for joining us today. Again, the guest for the day was Kaylee Henderson of Seiken Arts. I would like to give a last shout out to my Patreon Knights, MJ Gallagher, Matthew Caveat Zealot, Robin Bears, Robert Nolt, and Jonathan Myrie, as well as my Knight Emeritus, none other than Kaylee herself. And with that being said, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Have a happy Starlight, y'all. Bye.
Thanks for having us. Bye.